the people that made that decision. I mean, so like it's partially true, it's partially not true. I think the reason why, so the big reason why I think that it's a lot of old people is because
Damn, this is a low rating, but I haven't played
like
in
a
a
lot of
long
the normal
time,
people
so I
have
have to
moved
try.
past mainstream media. But old people, you've got to remember that a lot of scams and things like that, they intentionally target old people because they're dumb. They're dumb, they don't understand technology, they don't understand the current world, they're 70 years old, they understood things 50 years ago, that was a long time ago. Now they don't get it. And so they get scammed constantly. This is how it is. And so they're sitting there, and they're the ones that are keeping mainstream media on life support. And when they're gone, mainstream media goes away too. Because they're not bringing in a new audience of people, they're just doubling down on farming boomers.
Okay.
They lived in World War II in Nazi times? No, they did not. They lived after that. The baby boom was after World War II. None of these people lived through World War II. Absolutely not.
Decisions against him, in fact.
They lived in one of the most economically prosperous times in the entire history of humankind, and especially inside of America.
So this whole thing is just really, really funny because nobody is saying that Trump is a king other than a very, very marginal fringe on the right.
Well, just to make it
I don't
that's the
know
reason why.
whether this is something that's self-evident from the name,
Okay, I got it.
but the Republican Party is not a party of monarchy, actually. And Donald Trump is just showing that you can be an effective right-wing Republican executor and not a king. And this would be even more silly if Donald Trump was acting beyond his own democratic remit. But I don't know whether you remember, he won the House, the Senate, the popular vote, and the presidency.
Yeah, let's protest because we lost the vote. Yeah, too bad, huh?
The last election. So to argue
Well, yeah,
that
Diamond
doesn't
wanted
have
him
a
getting
democratic
this
remit for all of this would require you to explain why
Also, you
those
shouldn't even block
votes
that at
didn't
this
matter.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's return to the BBC article because, like I said,
It's
this
embarrassing.
is funny. This is just boomer delusion. Several U.S. states had mobilized
And boomers read the BBC. Like, young people don't read this garbage. But these old people do. And they believe anything that they see on social media. They're the ones that are typing amen whenever Jesus is transformed into a shrimp and he saved somebody's life from getting hit by a car.
That's them. As I said, the events which drew nearly 7 million people were peaceful. I'm sure they were peaceful.
Yeah, one like equals one praise. This is what they do.
People tend not to be a violent demographic, and a bunch of old boomers standing around with their stupid signs saying no kings or we don't want this.
Yeah.
Well, too bad. Everyone else voted for it. This is what you get.
Yep.
Trump isn't fabricating powers out of nothing.
I think that there's also like a much larger generational problem where a lot of the people in the baby boomer like kind of demographic are not really relinquishing power and giving it up to the next generation.
Good. I hope it's
And
gonna
I
stay
think that
like
that's
this,
created a
because
lot of
2 videos in a row I
for
just
young
kind
people,
of
because
lost
young
my
people want to move
rating
up inside
and
the
got worse.
workplace and take a certain amount of control of society because they've been part of it for a long enough period of time. They're not really given the ability to do that, and I think that makes a lot of them very angry. It makes them very frustrated and angry.
Okay.
And there are genuine problems in these
There's a lot
democratic
of
cities
resentment for it.
that need
You know,
solution.
even and it goes down to something as simple as like how many times have you heard, young people complaining about boomers buying houses for like $20,000 and then telling you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and go into the company that you want to work for and hand the manager your resume in person, right? Like it's just people that are giving advice for something that didn't work 20 years ago.
So why shouldn't Trump be able
What
to
is
do
it
the things
do?
that he's doing?
Yeah.
And the answer is just literally, we don't like it.
Yeah,
That's-
exactly.
That's all it boils down to. We don't like it because we are liberal boomers from the 1960s. And as far as we're concerned, history ended 50 years ago. And we haven't caught up to the fact that actually things are still going. In an interview with Fox News set to air on Sunday,
Nice.
Trump appeared to address
I'm
the
gonna
rights of
see
the
it,
king.
yeah.
This is not my act. You know
That's
that
what I
I'm referring to him
thought.
as king. I'm not a king. Yeah, I imagine that he thinks that if he was a king, he wouldn't have so much
Boomer.
institutional resistance. Because I mean, like,
Boomers are.
take for example the example of
I feel bad for
the
them.
long and
Do we should have
complex
age maximums for political jobs? No, I
They
don't
don't
think we should have age
understand
maximums. Like, you don't have to have
social
everything
media.
mandated. But I think that you do have a cultural problem when certain things don't happen. Like, and the problem is that you can't solve everything with a law. There's a lot of things that you can solve with laws, but you can't solve everything.
history of monarchy and the legal and political
It's my
institutions of the
outlook on it.
country. But technically, it's the Crown Courts. Technically, it's the Royal Navy, the Royal Army, the Royal Air Force.
Yeah.
Technically, it is the King in Parliament that sits and governs over us. So technically, if you're a king, all authority actually flows from the king.
Exactly.
And theoretically, the king is, as the source of authority of the institutions of the country, can override them if he wishes. Now, of course, there's a long conversation and series of arguments to be made about that, because of course we in Britain have a complex history with that. But the point being, there's
I don't get how he didn't start
king
Obama.
actually. To be honest,
I'm just mad that he's doing
What
things that they
happened
want.
there?
It's really just that simple. And they want to go out there, and the thing is, that's the reason why they call it fascist. They say he's being a king or something like a dictator. The reason why is because that is a way that they can radicalize people against them. It's not about whether it's true or not. It's about whether it will upset people into being afraid of him and not liking him. That's the focus.
he more screams.
That's what it's about.
Just European
Yeah, a king went to court, exactly.
Kind of like Orban or someone like that. Again,
I got
elected,
it, yes.
not a king. Someone
I
who's
got it,
elected,
I got
been
it.
out of office, and elected again. In fact, Trump's arc is kind of a mirror.
To be honest, I'm not even embarrassed to be
Just
Diamond. Like,
a
this is
short-
pretty.
Defending the opponent, yeah, exactly.
Politician, just a
Clickbait
clickbait,
engagement.
obviously.
Damn, I
So
accidentally
this
used to.
hysteria just looks absurd. Like from outside of America, these people seem
That could have been in.
absolutely.
It was a bit.
Beth Zaslov,
Well,
a freelance writer and editor, can you believe it? Said she joined the New York protest because she was outraged and distressed at a move towards
Every single person, except for probably this person that's dyed their hair, has gray hair. Gray hair, gray hair, gray hair, gray hair, gray hair, gray hair, probably dyed hair. This is it.
towards fascism and authoritarian government happening under the Trump administration. I care
Yep.
about a lot about New York City. It gives me hope to be out here with many other people. But I mean, what's your plan? You got another what, 3.5, 3 years of Donald Trump? That's just him going to be doing stuff.
Yeah.
No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. Thank you, Miss Zaslov. And I'm going to guess that it's Miss. But again, look at it. It's all of the greybeards, the liberal greybeards, who have come out and been like, "Oh no, wait, this wasn't the America I expected in the 1960s. I was listening to John
Nice.
Lennon's Imagine. Fuck John Lennon's Imagine. Fuck your opinions on it." Massimo Mascalina.
Oh, I should have hit that way harder. Yeah, there's no way that would have gone in with him, literally.
Bro, they're gonna be busting retirement homes out to these protests just so they can fuck up our lives a little bit longer. Just so they can just so they can fuck it up and make it worse for like 3 more years.
Damn, man. But he got it.
Oh god.
Because he was concerned the US was following the same path that his home country did in the last century. Trump is way more effective than Mussolini. Although I bet the Germans probably don't run on time. He said he was worried
That
about the
was
Trump
supposed to
administration's
be
immigration
right,
crackdown
so
in
it's
healthcare
kind of
and
valid.
Why?
You know, the
Rotated.
real problem with Mussolini. Too many immigrants. We're gonna seal the borders and kick them all out. Yeah, that was the problem with Mussolini.
With NGOs being shut down, they can't afford to bust them out? Yeah, I guess so, right?
We cannot count on the Supreme Court. We cannot count on the government, he told the BBC. We cannot count on the Congress. Well, that's because they're all a Republican majority through democratic means.
So let me get this straight. We can't use democratic means anymore. So we got outvoted, so we're going to protest against a king. Well, wait a minute. That's the only way that you would be avoided. Like, in order for you to get what you'd want, you'd effectively need a king. You see how, like, you want the opposite, actually. And again, once you understand,
Yeah.
this is a big issue that a lot of people have, is that they engage individuals like this as if they're behaving
That
in
was
good
his
faith.
volley.
These people don't want, these people are not complaining about the secret
Oh, yeah.
police.
I
They
can
want to
see
be the
why.
secret police.
But it's his
That's why
ball.
they had COVID. These people are not complaining about censorship. They want to do the censorship. That's why they banned right-wing opinions and Donald Trump during 2021. These people are not complaining about no kings. They're complaining about not being the king. These people are not complaining about democracy. They're complaining about losing the vote. So these people are not complaining about
Why is he all the way over there?
defund the police. You want to be the police.
I have
You
no
want to make
idea
the
what
decisions
he
yourself. So once you reframe a lot of these arguments in the way that they're truly intended, based off of what these people are actually asking for in their own mind, you'll realize that they're not really principled at all. These people just simply want the reins to power, and they're upset that you have them and not them. That's the main issue. That's the problem. They had no problem saying Russia rigged the election when 2016 happened, and they'll say the next election is rigged too. There are people saying that Kamala Harris, the election was rigged. It's all for power. There is no principle to this whatsoever. That's
But
it.
it's not like the
They're
Republicans
coping, they
in the
are.
United States or anything. People just kept voting for them to take over various arms of government, and suddenly the Republicans are basically in control of everything, and all they can do is go like, oh, well,
Yeah, they don't want to protest these things. They want to have these things for themselves.
I guess we have the legislative,
what they really
executive, and
want.
judiciary that are all against the American people right now. They're getting what they voted for. I mean, a miracle
Imagine that.
in modern times. I would love a democracy that was
But I
actually
touched it, so it wouldn't
government in place and
do anything
that
about
would allow us to
it.
get what we voted for. That would be an incredible miracle.
Too bad.
And I can't even imagine how great that would be. One protester at the rally in the Capitol held up a sign that read, I am Antifa. Chuck Epi, 76.
I love how these people think that the fucking the disgusting. These people make me look clean. Like you look at these Antifa protesters. Oh my god! It's like these people live on. It's like they live under a bridge. You bring out basically a collection of ogres,
What?
hags,
Okay, I don't know why he
to
wants
go
that
out and
close.
protest against protest for
I have
illegal
bad feelings
migration.
about this.
You know, more lives matter. What the fuck is this? It's insane. And you have these people doing
Yeah,
this,
that's not
and
the real
guess what?
solution for
Nobody
sure.
likes them.
Oh yeah, it's not
Actually,
even
that's what they are. Really?
Protest. Said it was a loaded term and just meant he supported peace, daycare, livable wage, healthcare.
It's a
I think
loaded
there might
term.
be slightly
Sure.
more to Antifa than I want good things. I think there might be slightly more than that.
Maybe
which
he
is
is,
why there
but that's a
are
very
violent insurrectionists.
still I give
CNN also had an
credit.
amazing article. Millions rally against Trump at the No Kings protests, and the organisers explain why. Oh, it was organised. Right, okay, it wasn't just this organic thing that sprang out of nowhere.
Wow.
Of course it was. Which means
Damn.
someone must have been funding it, which is interesting. I love that
Who's doing that?
to celebrate her 70th birthday.
What a pinch.
Retired government worker Peggy Cole. So she and friends
Retired government
You know, that's
workers.
just
Oh god,
unlucky
here we
because
go.
there's that's like
10 hours from her
champ or grand champ level
10
savings
Washington,
techniques.
D.C. She
And-
felt compelled
Did they
to
even,
march.
did they even
And
figure
it's
out their whole
unfortunate
water
because it's a
situation over
hiccup
there,
that
or is it
actually
still
makes
poison?
sense to have.
Mark a milestone of the last demonstration because it's a scary time for Americans and democracy is at stake.
Democracy is at stake. Yes, democracy is a problem when you lose the vote. It's still poisoned? Okay. So let me get this straight. This retarded old bitch drove over, and this is what I was saying, displaced bored swamp hags that should be
I'm kind of
selling
annoyed though.
in a forest.
What is
to
that?
Random adventurers.
That's not even where the ball
Computers, government
should
jobs,
go
cars,
if we
and
didn't know.
most
Like,
importantly,
I don't know,
and
like
the
that's
worst
not
of
even
all,
the
they've been
default
given the
position of where
internet.
the ball
And we
would
have
be.
been overrun by displaced, disaffected, bored swamp hags that are ruining our lives. That's it. That's the big problem. And they're work minions.
Why? Like, everyone just keeps getting elected to things. And you're like, you know what, this is more what democracy was supposed to be. Democracy is what I voted for, not what the other guy gets, what he voted for.
Yeah.
It seems to me that Trump is taking our government, our democracy, and dismantling it piece by piece, slowly but surely. If we don't sit by and if we sit by and don't do anything about it.
Surely you're doing something about it.
What are you talking
Yes.
about? Like, seriously,
I don't know why he
in a
won.
couple of years, there'll be another election, and a new government will be formed. Like, it's just going to carry on.
Yep.
Your local elections will carry on, your state elections will carry on, your elections for the police, the judges, whoever else you vote for. Americans do so much voting. That's all going to continue.
We love
I
voting.
don't know what you're talking about. So CNN tell us that the Trump administration and GOP officials have painted anti-Trump protests as the work of violent left-wing radicals, but the organisation behind the No Kings events, the Indivisible Project, says it's committed to non-violent action. Should we look at who they are?
To be fair, I think that the No Kings protest was primarily non-violent. It's because these people can't be violent. They can barely even get around to begin with. They're all fucking 70 years old.
Folks. So they say they are a progressive grassroots
Yeah, they can't do
movement of
anything.
millions of activists across every state.
If they
fueled
could,
by
they'd be
partnership
starting
between
trouble.
thousands of local autonomous indivisible
They're
groups and
fat.
national staff. Well, who's funding them? I bet it's going to be Act Blue, isn't it? I bet it's
You
going
know,
to be
maybe I
Act
can
Blue
win
that's
this.
funding
I don't
this.
think
I bet a
so.
huge amount of Soros money has been poured into this, hasn't it? I don't have time to look it up, but I bet I'm right. Feel free to have a dig around, folks, because apparently Invisible Project, which is a 501c4, I believe that is a non-profit, means that you're going to be able to actually find who the funders of this are. It's going to be the Democrats. It's going to be that way. It's
Now,
not
how
a
did I miss
grassroots movement
that?
like they claim, obviously. One thing that gets me about this whole thing is
Yeah, I'm always
it's
be left
generally
on
harsh, like they turn up in like frog costumes, lobster costumes, and other stupid.
No Shellfish Kings. And it's some stupid fucking... Jesus Christ. I mean, it is kind of funny. To be fair, it is kind of funny. But this is just fucking sad, guys. It really is just fucking sad. Reddit revolutionaries, bro. Like, there it is. How do you
That's
think the rich
crazy. I
get paid
just
for the
won
costumes?
YouTube now.
Probably a lot.
Like things with the silly signs, and it's like there's an
Warning
eagle
signs
one,
of
there's a shark
fascism.
one. It's like, what are you guys doing? Like this
Well,
is
the implication is that this is the reason why they're doing it.
Do
Is
do
that
show.
they think that by dressing up like they're from Chuck E. Cheese, that they will make it look
I don't know
like
how
the
to
police
do
are
it.
worse for doing
Oh,
bad
nice.
things to them. When, I mean, if you want me to be honest, like, whenever they tackle one of the people in those mascot things, I think it's so funny. I do, it's just funny to watch it happen, right? It's the same as whenever a mascot does
Oh,
something
nice.
on like a sports, you know, in like a sports field. They'll like, you know, eat somebody or something like that. It's just funny to watch somebody in a banana suit get tackled. Like, I'm sorry. Doesn't matter what side they're on, it's just funny to watch.
the fact that you act in such a frivolous manner regarding your protest makes me think that, frankly, to you, it's
Queens only, no kings.
What?
Oh god. Do you remember what I said?
That's so dumb.
Displaced swamp hags.
not serious. Right? If you can turn up and make jokes about the business that you're currently engaged in, I don't think you're genuinely in the fear of losing democracy. I
got a
think
big
that this is
problem.
just a boomer day out for them to have a good time
Yep.
and to go, yeah, aren't we good people? We resist fascism. How? Well, I was wearing
I
a
was
fucking
walking
monster
around.
costume like a prat.
Yeah.
And I waved a little banner that had a crossed out crown on it because Donald Trump famous for wearing crowns, you see.
875. I think that's better than I used to have, but it's still pretty
Pedro
bad.
Pascal, Katie Washington, and others attended.
Oh, yeah.
And complain they'll defend democracy so people can keep electing people like Donald
I
Trump.
love how these people, especially Hollywood actors that try to talk about democracy while they try to wield their influence as, you know, these like super wealthy elites inside of the country in order to direct people to vote in the way that they want them to. But then whenever it doesn't work, despite their best efforts, they're trying to complain about democracy. You were actively trying to subvert democracy by advocating for people and using your position that has nothing to do with politics in order to influence democracy. But when it doesn't work, now democracy is at risk. It's just, again, that's what I said before. These people don't want to.
I hated
They're
what
not
happened.
mad
I
that Trump
almost
is
like,
getting rid of
if he
democracy.
didn't get it
They're
in, then
mad that they're
we
not
would be
getting rid of
screwed.
democracy. They're the ones
I
that
was
want to
like
get rid of
stuck there
democracy.
somehow.
Obviously, Nancy Pelosi came out and broke a crown because that's so brave.
We're going to tear off the crown.
back to the swamp. You know, maybe Trump shouldn't drain the
Nice.
swamp after all, because I feel like ever since he started saying that, I started seeing this issue. Yes, another one right here. Bro, even the swamp don't want her? Yeah, exactly. I'm telling you, she's so old. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just awful, man. It really is awful.
that was my fault.
You're listening to a
It
radio
was my fault like
democracy.
2
Do you know they
times or
still have a
something, and I
monarchy?
missed.
Listen, you got to understand something, okay? We don't have democracy. We have a representative. We have a democratic republic, okay? This is a republic. You're not. It's not fucking democracy. And if you look at, by the way, I can find this here.
Okay. She can score it, hopefully. No.
Take a look at this. I don't know if I can find some more of these here. I don't know where it is exactly.
That was the worst shot,
But
it went in.
no, I'm not able to find the image I was going to show.
I
But there's a
almost
lot of,
missed an open
images
net.
and a
Now I
lot of
see why
quotes from
people
founding
are
fathers
so,
talking about how
like,
democracy can be a big problem. It's a constitutional republic. Yeah.
crazy about open nets.
Democracy as a city as Greece? Yeah. Do you think she?
Okay, do I need to tell him when to take a shot? That's like
How many decades
Rookie.
has Nancy Pelosi been in office?
Like
even like gold and silver is not history.
Right.
So
Nancy
let me get
Pelosi.
this. Yeah. So let me get this straight. So this woman has had a longer tenure than a king, and she's complaining about kings. That's crazy. Really? Like, I mean, think about it.
Pelosi has been such a fixture. She's wealthier than most kings in history were as well. And
So she's been in power for longer than a king. She has more money than a king, but she hates kings.
I had to do that. I needed to distract
We
something
gotta
to
send her
get
back
the
to the
beast.
swamp, bro. Like, we gotta do something about this.
yeah, she's like, yeah, see, no monarchy, I just got elected. Over and over and over and over and over by the most reliable constituency that I'm going to be honest does kind of represent
No.
a sort of feudal fiefdom.
I thought that was my fault, but I guess I wasn't
And
aware that
therefore,
it
I'm
was.
against kings.
Well, no, they want the fiefdom. They want the feudalism because the feudalism ensures that they'll continue to have the votes. That's the whole apparatus that they're building, that they're trying to build, is that they create a lot of social systems that make a certain demographic reliant on them, and then they hold those social systems hostage because the other party doesn't want them because they're just there in order to secure those votes. They're basically trying to create voting feudalism. That's the whole goal. No, it's. Now, the more I think about it, it's like, yeah, that's basically what was happening.
You also have the sort of, like I said, the radical grandchildren fringe of Antifa weirdos who had things like Charlie Kirk had it coming.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is great. Enemy feminisms. Feminism for the 99%. Unbuilt walls.
I don't know, I find him annoying, but he might find me annoying too.
Man.
But that was unlucky, like you gotta
Politicians
admit,
don't
like
die like they used to. There's another. These girls, bro. Remember what I told y'all? All swamp hags. Every single one of them.
Assassination's great again. And all these other sort of like, we are happy that people have murdered Republicans.
Also, what I find to be really funny about this is any woman that's like baiting around for a political revolution doesn't realize what happens to women in political revolutions. Every single one in the
That's
history
completely his
of
fault.
revolutions.
I'm gonna say it right there.
Every single, there aren't any exceptions here. They think it won't happen. Yeah, it's amazing that women would ever even consider wanting this. It's unbelievable. I guess they're just stupid. I mean, you can't blame somebody for being stupid, right?
Yeah, that was going in. And I
What do
get
you
the
mean?
person that accidentally
I guess I
self-scored.
could
That
just say
doesn't
it.
look like it
I mean, I don't know
happened.
why like I'm
But it
talking
did
around
end
it. Inside of every single political revolution, inside of the entire history, even inside of women, like for example, the way that women were treated after the different countries in Europe reoccupied their countries after the Nazis, they were raped, murdered, beaten, they were forced into abortions, they were basically treated as slaves. Women inside of any sort of militaristic political revolution immediately become effectively currency. That's what's going to happen instantly. And it's happened inside of every single revolution. And it happened, like, why do you think that there are those statues in South Korea of those comfort women? Like, it's always been like this. And if there's a legitimate conflict, that's what's going to happen to them. Because it's happened every single time. So it's a joke. It's a joke. It's insane. And that's why I think it's so ridiculous for these girls to be pushing for this, because it's like you have just no...
Okay, he should take
Like,
the shot.
what do you think's going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? It's crazy. What are you talking about? Eastern Europe or something?
Okay, good.
You mean those statues aren't there for foreigners to get lap dances for? No, they're not. These people don't know what they want? Yeah, exactly. And no self-preservation instinct? Yeah, they don't understand. It's all comfort women were raped by the Japanese, not through though not Koreans. I know that. That's the reason why the statues were in Korea. That I know that. Learn to listen. The statues are in Korea. The atrocities happen from Japan, primarily. And there's a whole lot of, like, I don't even, like, the inner Asian,
That was
like,
crazy.
conflicts and racism between like China, Japan, Korea, Vietnam. I know like 3% of this. Okay, like that's on the other side.
That was like high IQ move, but you know I didn't. I actually didn't do that as a high IQ move. I just randomly did it.
Some of them really don't get along. It's like some shit that happened 600 years ago. No, remember 1,200 years ago that one thing happened? Yeah, fuck you.
Oh, I got it.
Like, I don't know why, but that's how it is. So, I just find it to be weird that you have all these women that are trying to
What
advocate
is
for a
that?
political revolution when, if a political revolution happened,
That's kind
it
of
would be
like
the
one of
most
the worst. Not
horrifying, terrible thing to have ever happened. And also, like, men get killed, right? It's not like women have it bad and men have it good. Men are out getting killed, women are being raped. It's just, it's horrible. It's an apocalypse situation. It's awful. It's crazy that these people are advocating for something like that. They have no idea of the consequence of it.
What?
I mean, that's pro-democracy, bro. That's 100% democracy. Nothing screams democracy like shooting a presidential candidate on the campaign trail, does it? And the thing is about this being a boomer protest is that their grandchildren basically don't really agree with them on the nature of the American Constitution and American democracy. From a poll last year by the Cato Institute, when they looked at enthusiasm for the Constitution across demographic groups, obviously boomers, 65 plus and over, were 3/4 in favour of it, strongly favourable opinion. And then the Gen Xers at the 60.
I think the Constitution's wrong on tons of things. There's tons of amendments I don't agree with. Sure, yeah. Especially the way the Supreme
that was
Court interprets
tough.
them.
I
Absolutely.
didn't think he was gonna do that.
This is too broad of a question. Like, Citizens United, cruel and unusual
Bro, they're
torture,
too good.
not a fan of that. I think if we want to publicly execute people, I don't think that's a problem at all. Especially for really bad actors, in order to set an example. You've got,
I don't
let's see,
agree.
beyond that, citizenship for anybody. That
I mean,
is
I
born
agree
here,
with it for
regardless of
like
their parents'
Nazi.
citizenship
Like in
status.
Israel, they only had
Absolutely
one
not.
occurrence of a death
those are the three
penalty,
things
and
that I
it
would
was
say
a Nazi,
immediately
so
I
it
am
makes
against.
sense. Not even all Nazis, just like
Yeah.
one of Hitler's biggest.
Younger Gen X
Whatever.
53. But then the millennials,
That was his bump.
44, only 41%.
But I know there
had
was
a
so
strong
many
favour
things
of
that
the
happened that
Constitution. That's
one
really
thing
weird.
wrong makes
That's some
sense.
weird,
It had so many
weird
shots on
marketing
goal.
ideology from the boomers. Like, if you believe in this so strongly, why don't your grandchildren also believe in this? And the Zoomers themselves actually support writing a new constitution.
There's nothing
Obviously,
wrong with writing a new constitution. That's why you have amendments. The Constitution was written, made in order to have amendments and be a living document. Like, that's the whole reason why they reinterpret amendments all the time. Like, the entire idea that this is some sort of, like, stated thing. Like, for example, there are tons of things that, like, a random person can't have that are, like,
Bro, that could have been the
craziest. So, like, there's limitations to the First Amendment, there's
I think
limitations
it
to
was
the Second
possible
Amendment,
to
there's
double
limitations
check
almost to
that.
everything. And so, like, for guns, exactly, for voting, exactly, like, there's a million things that different things apply to. This is, in my opinion, I think this is, like, such bad polling, because, like, it's such a individual, like, individually based issue.
25% of boomers support that. 27% of the old Gen X.
That's crazy.
Aircraft carriers? Yeah.
47% of the millennials. But
Somebody says,
54%
am I against anchor babies? Absolutely, I support every single one of them.
of Zoomers like, yeah, no, fuck the Constitution, let's just write a new one that reflects our diversity as a people. Boomers, you are out. It's over for you. Your beloved democracy that you'll seek to protect so much, the Constitution, the Republic, all those things that you're so concerned about, it genuinely is, as Rousseau put, the real Constitution is inscribed on the hearts of men. And when your generation goes, the young
I have a
generation
feeling
will
my
have the fondness for the
teammate
20th
isn't
century
right.
America that you had during your youth. And that will all disappear. Things will change.
Yep, absolutely.
But they're actually way better. Like, it might also be a thing that, like, they're just so good too.
I mean, I'm talking about, like, future ones, right? I mean, obviously, like, if somebody was born in the U.S., like, 20 years ago, they've been a U.S. citizen for, like, 20 years because of the 14th Amendment, like, applying rules retroactively to people generally is a bad idea. But, like, from my perspective, I would, from now on, no, never. New people, yeah, exactly.
Founding fathers were heroes. 34% were like heroes and villains, but 1% said villains. Same sort of numbers with the older Gen X.
Yes.
The younger Gen X, about 50-50 on heroes, or both heroes and villains. And then the millennials are like, no, more heroes and villains than heroes, with 5% just on villains, and the same sort of thing with the Gen Z. So it's not like the founding fathers and the love of them.
Now, why did I
something
get
they've
stuck
already
like that?
taken
That's
on.
the most
Well,
And this
annoying
is also
thing.
something that's important to keep in mind, is that whenever these people try to weaponize, figures like Thomas Jefferson or George Washington, they're not doing it from a place of respect to Thomas Jefferson or George Washington. They don't care about Thomas Jefferson or George Washington. But what they do care about is weaponizing your respect for them in order to achieve their goals. Would you support moving non-citizens from the census? Completely. If you're not a citizen, you shouldn't be counted in the census. And I don't think that, because, and the reason why is that the
Nice,
census
actually, I wanted
is
that.
used in order to determine a certain amount of government representation.
Okay,
So
sure.
if you allow
No!
non-citizens to be part of the census,
got the
you
most.
create an incentive
Okay.
in order to bring more non-citizen
What are you
more
doing? How can
non-citizens
you be that
into an
bad?
area and then increase the voting power of that area. And so you've now created a reward structure around adding citizens. The more non-citizens you add, the more power you have over American policy. Does that sound like a good idea? That's retarded. Of course you shouldn't do that.
back. And you remember that the radical fringe of that 5% you think they're just
That was very annoying.
will go out and
I
tear
think my
down the
teammate
statues
did one bad
That's
move,
right,
which
during
ruined
the
it.
Never listen to these people.
And they were
I
actually
care about
pretty
the
good, so
Constitution. No, you don't.
they'll-
You care
they
about
can
it when
take
you
that.
agree with it.
20 Black Lives Matter riots. It's not like these people haven't been radicalized. And this really is a product
And also,
of
another thing is them, trying to make an argument to authority through the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court's just 9 fucking geriatrics. I like, Clarence Thomas is an OG.
Wow,
and I think some
that's
of the other ones are
crazy.
great too, but at the end of the day, it's 9 fucking geriatrics. They also decided to, these are people who decided to do Citizens United, right? Like, you shouldn't look at them as some sort of divine authority. They're just 9 people that made the decision. And also, they're completely partial. They're absolutely partial. And if they weren't partial, then all those people that are saying that the Supreme Court's impartial wouldn't have been malding because Trump got to appoint 3 justices. It's bullshit.
These sort of liberalism. If you allow it to just keep going and going and going, where it's trying to encompass all of mankind, and it sees all of its own wrongs as primarily the problem rather than things that are outside of its remit, then, well, you get to that point, don't you? And finally, you may have seen this amazing post going around. I posted it myself. A huge thank you to all the No Kings protesters yesterday. I was very concerned that King was trying to take my place, but thanks to your tireless efforts, I am still your president. Great job all. Unfortunately, that's fake. Like I said, I posted it as well, and I'll take it down after this video.
Sad.
I didn't realize.
He should have said that, though.
So
That's really
like
funny.
something Donald Trump would say. And frankly, he should have said that. He should have tweeted that out. He should have been like, yeah, no, I'd hate to have a king because I'm the guy in charge, aren't I? I don't want to be replaced. But yeah, no, that's a fake. But it does probably accurately represent what Trump actually thinks, which is another thing about the sort of fake posts of Trump that go around. Yeah, okay, he might not have said it.
Oh, nice. Oh, she's pretty good.
Would say that, would probably would have said it. That probably would be his opinion on it. Anyway, it's nice that the boomers got to have a day out in their home, isn't it?
Yeah, anyway, that's what I think the problem is it's the last gasp of relevancy from the boomers in order for them to fuck up society just a little bit longer, in order for them to enable their delusional, self-serving ideals while they live under more wealth and they have experienced more benefits than anybody else in society. And they've made all this money, and somehow they're still talking down to the young people. It's so fucking obnoxious. They're in their death throes, they are. They're in their death throes, and this is a problem that's going to solve itself. And there are a lot of based boomers out there, too. You can't forget that. It's not like they're all bad. They are not all bad. But some of the ones that are out there doing this are just displaced hippies, bored swamp hags, and old retards that should be sitting in a nursing home playing bingo rather than going out and fucking up society. You don't have any stake in it anymore. You're going to be dead soon.
But I don't know what else he could have done to
and leave everybody else alone. You know, that's the way I feel about it. That's what I think. So yes, it's a war from the attack on the outside. Fascism is violence from above. Revolution is violence from below. I mean, I think it's just retards, right? I mean, there's not really a lot of violence in a lot of cases. It's just retards. I'll give you guys the video link in case, give it a like. I like
finally encountered someone that's as bad as me and saying
yeah, I definitely 100% do.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am your favorite Baghdadi, tall, traveling clad, coming to you live right now from the Holy Land. Steven Crowder is chiming in on Candace Owens' psychosis, which we are all watching unfold live on the internet right now. If you want to be a Baghdadi just like me, you can get the merch down below in the description at thetravelclad.com. And let's just jump right into it because Candace Owens has gone on full psychopath level. Let's take a look.
They already did it. They did it in Israel. They gave me freaking bullet. It's like, as soon as they give you a Boulevard and a holiday, they definitely killed you. Okay, there's no question. They killed you. There's no way. That's like their signature thing. It's like that's what they do. It's the Fed signature. It's how they sign off after they murder you.
Candace Owens is an evil.
I agree.
Just as I was about to go live on air, I was made aware, and you guys can correct me if I'm getting anything wrong, because this is coming in live. Candace Owens.
Bro, really? You have to touch every single button?
Saying, and I want to be careful with my words here because she's not. And I know she'll give herself an out and say that's not what I was implying. But you watch this clip in its entirety, and it seems pretty blatant that she's saying, and people are interpreting it this way, which is also important, that the Trump administration, not whatever it was, we went from underground Jew tunnels, Mossad, the Trump administration killed Charlie Kirk.
Just really needed to just take a breather and really process everything that happened with Charlie and what it kind of means in terms of where we are. And I think it is a circumstance where we just know. We just know that he was truly betrayed in one of the most egregious ways that I think
Damn, I
I've
can't
seen.
believe I missed
It's
the
made me
vote.
lose faith in politics. It's made me fully lose faith in Trump. And my heart aches for the fact that he gave so much of his life to Trump and to politics, and they just were like, nope, that is it. It serves us or it doesn't serve us, and we want to move on. And so here's a holiday, bro. If they try to give me a holiday, what is with them giving people a holiday after they kill them? Why is that a thing? You know what I mean? Like, oh, Martin Luther King, what about this holiday? What about this boulevard? Anyways, let me knock out. They're gonna get Charlie Kirk Boulevard. They already did. They did in Israel. They gave him a freaking boulevard. It's like, as soon as they give you a boulevard and a holiday,
I don't remember we giving him a boulevard.
they definitely
We
killed you.
gave him a boulevard?
There's no question. They killed you. There's no way. That's like their signature thing. It's like that's what they do. It's the Fed signature. It's how they sign off after they murder you. You're like holiday and a boulevard, and it's never on the nice side of town either. Like Charlie Kirk Boulevard is not gonna be on the nice side of town. Anyways, I will be back on the 27th, you guys. Thank you guys for all the support throughout these couple of weeks. These last really kind of 6 weeks. It's really nice. And we'll see you guys then.
Really? They actually no boost?
Be tactful here and tell you that outrageous claims, and this is an outrageous claim.
I needed boost. I don't know. I don't have that.
Of course, as is par for the course, none has been presented.
I kept on
And I know
trying
there
to get
might
boost,
be an
but I
argument,
couldn't get it.
a weaseling.
That was my fault,
I
though.
said the
Still,
Fed, not the Trump administration. I said a boulevard.
whenever I
in
need boost,
Israel.
it's my
Pretty
fault.
clear. Not clear. What she said was, they, the Fed, give you a boulevard when that's a sure sign that they have killed you. You know that they have killed you. He was betrayed in the worst way possible, giving so much of his life to the Trump presidency, to politics. The federal government, the Trump administration killed Charlie Kirk is the claim. Now I'm going to tell you how I feel about it, what I think about it. Because you know who else would have to be involved? And this is the implication, of course, by design, and you can see the
I need to
response.
get all the way
with
to
people out
like
there
almost
saying,
Diamond 3, though. It's a long
anyone
way
who's
to
close
go.
Yeah, this is an inside job. You know who's really close to President Trump, and you know who people are now saying stood to gain? Well, Charlie's wife, Erica Kirk, who has now been put, Candace with that language, with this accusation, has put the wife of Charlie Kirk, and she said, that's not what I tried to do. It is. It's the result. Erica Kirk in the crosshairs. It's not like you have to
What?
look through 6 degrees of separation.
No, they're crazy.
Horrible. Yeah, absolutely disgusting, by the way. This poor woman and what she went through.
Yeah, no, they're just crazy. That was such a
And you can
bunch.
see post after post and article after article with both Kirks, but certainly Erica praising, thanking President Trump,
Yeah, he's
discussing
actually
how important
terrible.
his support has been. So if the Trump administration, if the Fed killed Charlie Kirk, look, there's no middle ground here right now. Either Erica Kirk is evil and was in on it, or Candace Owens is an evil. I hope I'm being really clear about that. And saying, well, she didn't connect all the dots just is not an excuse when there's a grieving family right now who's not just left holding the bag, but you know very well will put Erica Kirk in the crosshairs. Let me ask you this. If you were killed, and someone out there for clicks, clickbait, headlines, went out and espoused conspiracy theories with zero evidence that put your wife or your husband in the crosshairs, where you knew after you had passed that the person you love was going to have to deal with fallout and accusations of killing you and villainized, it'd probably be as close to coming back as a haunting as you could possibly hope for, right? Either Erica Kirk is in on this, and just to be clear, that's obviously rhetoric. Of course she's not. And of course, there's no evidence that she was. And of course, there will be some very unstable people, which is by design from Candace, who will accuse me of being paid by the Trump administration or Mossad or whatever it is. Insert all the crap here. Either Erica Kirk is evil and assisted, conspired with the Trump administration to kill her husband, Charlie Kirk, to assassinate him in cold blood, or Candace Owens has officially crossed the Rubicon to evil. Tell me if you disagree. We'll take your chat on it later. But those are my initial thoughts. And I'm going to call it gonna weasel out. I didn't say that. I didn't imply that. We're just asking questions.
Can't believe he almost missed it too.
One final thing. People have talked about this. Is it true? Is it not? Is that actually the psyop where the left has wanted to drive a wedge between those on the right? Do you think that fracturing those on the right over a baseless conspiracy that the most effective president in modern American history killed one of the most effective public figures in modern American history, who's survived by his wife, who happens to be very close with a supportive president? I couldn't think of a more effective wedge issue. So either way, if it's stupidity or it's proactive evil, you must do better, sweetheart.
Or Qatari propaganda.
What can we say to the people who listen
That
to
was
this and believe
very bad.
All of Steven's video. Definitely go.
I kind of messed up too, but it was his fault. Oh, he just like jumped
Definitely go
to
watch
nowhere.
the full clip at Steven Crowder's channel. But I do want to try.
Yeah, that was a really
He said that
bad
he said most of
thing
what
on
he
his
said
side.
was, this is evil, and I think maybe Steven has more morality than I do. In this space to say what I'm about to say, but I believe that wholeheartedly that she's being paid by a foreign government to spread disinformation and misinformation across the American public. I think this is part of an active campaign by the Qataris and by the Islamic regime of Iran to destabilize the United States of America and make them question everything so people can't understand what's up from down. Here's some simple facts. Israel, the Jews, are your ally, not your enemy. They work with you, your president, your army, to protect you and your borders, and vice versa, you do the same for us. Qatar, Turkey, Islamic regime of Iran, these are your enemies who want to destroy the United States of America. It's not a lie, it's not propaganda, it's the truth. How do I know? Go there. Go there. Go there. You're an American citizen, you can go all of these places. Go there. Go see the society, talk to the people, discover. Somebody inviting you over to their house for hummus, or somebody inviting you over for a falafel because they're nice, does not mean the same as understanding or wanting the same geopolitical situation as you. If you want America to be America, if you want to keep the fabric of America alive the way that it is today, you need to understand something. You are at war whether you like it or not. People like Candace Owens are enemies inside of their borders. They need to be dealt with. This doesn't mean hurting them. It doesn't mean that you go out and attack them. It means they need to be dealt with. They need to be debated. They need to be attacked in the digital space the way that I do here. And their ideas need to be challenged. And that's what I intend on doing. I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you a long time. Goodbye, guys.
Has this ever happened to you? Hey, are you a Zionist? What is this hesitation?
Bro, it's, what do you mean this is Rocket League? That was his fault. Like, it was my ball because he didn't hit it. And like,
from ending the Jews of Persia? Well, hey, Habibi, you think Herzl thought he was a white colonizer? As he Zionized the Jews of Europe?
bro, that's his ball again. I'm sorry.
I don't
That's
care
your
if you're a
ball.
Muslim, a Jew, or a Christian. You're a Zionist, right? Yeah. When a good Zionist goes to the travelingclad.com and buys some provocative merchandise. They do? Absolutely, a big shop. I have some incredible
That's
designs
my
for you.
fault, but I
They say
got
everything
the ball
promised
at
you
least.
3,000 years ago. Here,
That's
take a
his
share.
ball?
The magic
Okay,
number
my
for
ball.
you.
Even though it's supposed to
They say
be
they dig you for 109 countries. Here, join the 109 club. Take share and matching hair. For you, good price. Habibi, you want to Zionize? Here, take share, matching hair. You like Kuba Select Shel Safta? Here, take share, matching hair. Take sticker, take hoodie, take, good price, take, good price, take, good price, take, good price. Yossi, achi, he understands you, stop! A good Zionist goes to the travelingclad.com and buys merch. Yalla, Habibi, for you.
Bro, he was so annoying. He blamed it on me while he didn't do that good.
Donating on Buy
He was the reason.
PayPal, or becoming a member on my Patreon. Your support is very much needed and very much appreciated.
Bro, I don't understand why I'm losing so much here. Damn, I missed that one. Eljo Gaza. What does Gaza? Like, what Gaza are you talking about? Because I see so many people with the, like, word Gaza. I think that's completely my teammate's fault. Even though I think I shouldn't have hit it that direct. Really? How did I miss that? I didn't have boost, I think. We can win, but I don't think we will. Damn. לא יודע, אני באמצע משחק. I mean, he's the MVP, but I'm doing a lot of passing. Literally everyone was an assist, I think. Okay, good. I don't know why he did that. What does El Jogada mean? It could be Spanish, I have no idea. Gaza might sound Spanish, but it doesn't. It might be though. Still, like, it's like, it could be, I don't know. Maybe it's Spanish for Gaza. But I don't know what that is. I'm pretty sure it is, I don't know though. Damn. Okay. It's pretty annoying. I'm actually at like a lower rating than I used to be before. Maybe I am pretty bad, I don't know. Oh yeah, wait, let's see. Why does it keep on going back to the... Sure, let's watch it. Why is it so loud?
Here is the category, players. Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune.
Why is it...
Welcome back to a series so
Okay, that's not
electric,
that. Oh, it
even
is
Jolty
not.
unsubscribed. In today's video, Hassan is calling out everybody for apparently being fooled by the shock collar situation. Hassan's community is losing their minds at Ludwig for calling out Hassan. They're harassing QT Cinderella for daring to mention Asmongold's streamer show. Ethan has responded to several clips about Colorgate and is defending QT and Ludwig from the harassment. Asmon has responded talking about his experience with Hassan's toxic community. Ultimate Gooning Lord Dan Clancy is talking about testifying in front of Congress regarding Twitch radicalizing people into violence, and he says Twitch is not responsible at all. More streamers are exposing Dan Clancy for hanging out with 3 19-year-old e-girls. Diabolical. And a bunch of more updates. Subscribe or you turn into Palpatine Pika.
Palpatine?
Now let's begin. So Hassan apparently zapped his dog and we had a ton of stuff go down. Now after all that, he said he wanted to quit streaming because of the backlash.
Oh, down.
I hate streaming. I want to shut everything off. I just want to go away.
Right, so now Hassan is calling out people for being duped by Colorgate, basically still saying that everybody is lying and he didn't have a shock collar, and he also mentions his favorite politician, Zoran Mamdani, who recently actually disavowed him as well.
America deserved 9/11, dude. I'm saying it.
I find the comments that Hassan made on 9/11 to be objectionable and reprehensible in this country.
Hassan calls out those who were duped by Colorgate, etc.
It's not even a significant problem for someone like myself. It's just at most going to do reputational damage to me for like a fucking week. And then people that hate me are going to use this as an opportunity to be like, oh, everybody hates you, law, and then what?
It's his ball, but I don't blame
the Trump
him.
administration is going to continue doing its fucking fascism, and people are going to realize, oh, wait a minute, maybe we were wrong about this fucking dude. This has been my
He
entire
air
career.
dribbled it
People
almost.
get whipped up in a frenzy over nonsensical shit, whether it's because I bought a fucking house, or whether it's because I leased a Porsche, or whatever the fuck, or because they've imagined that I'm like abusing my dog by because she fucking sleeps behind me for extended periods of time. I can't believe dogs sleep in the
That's
same
his ball.
cot, you know?
It's just
Bro, this
people make up their minds.
are you serious?
and
These are
then
again the
they realize
Smurfs
maybe
or
they were
something
doomed.
like that.
It is what it is.
But
The
whatever,
reality of the
we'll
matter
eventually
is, the
get
reason
there.
why they
Maybe
fucking
not
hate
this
that
match.
Zoran and I linked up is not because
Oh, we're
of
winning.
my
I don't know.
2019 comments about
I don't know.
9/11.
I'm kind of
It's
biased
because
in the fact
I've
if we're
been
winning or
a
not.
proud,
Maybe they aren't.
loud
Yeah.
Israel advocate for the past 10 years, and it's been especially important.
Of course, it's Israel, guys. It's in my walls. It's underneath my skin. This man is running on an AI script. It's actually crazy. You know, I can probably predict this guy's statements with like a 70 to 80% accuracy. That should not be possible with any human being, but with Hassan, he always reverts to the same thing. Israel, Asmongold, Ethan Klein. It's gotta be like something in that orbit. Destiny. Now, he said something like people get mad at him for anything, right? Like buying a $3 million mansion, but he leaves out the context that he claims to be a socialist who lives on a basic necessity budget.
I live on a basic necessity budget for the most part anyway.
This is what he claims, yet he still buys supercars, designer clothes, and all this expensive shit, but then he wants you to tax the rich, make the rich pay, and then we even had that interview
It's so
where
dumb.
this guy
You're
confronted
it's like
him about living up to his socialist ideals, right? Giving up his house and moving out of his mansion, and his response was, no, guys, please, we need to first take everybody else's money. First, we need the healthcare. First, we need everything else, and then you can come for my mansions and my supercars, right?
Yeah, that's why backward is so good actually. Maybe I do need to hit it off the backboard if it hit.
Now, somehow he's still claiming that he doesn't mistreat his dog, like it sleeps behind me. I mean, I'd be sleeping too, because if I'm awake, I would have nothing to do, because I'm not even allowed to stretch my legs or take one step off of my bed without being electrocuted by Palpatine Piker here. You literally shocked the living shit out of her, so much so that she's literally confused at your commands and thinks that the only thing you want is to stay in place. It was absolutely evil, dude. Pure responded round 44 of Gasanabi, the
I don't know why she continued
gaslighting
with
his
it.
viewers.
But you
Don't
know,
believe
it's
your
not
eyes,
that
the
bad. I
evidence, the
wasn't
testimonies,
probably
or
gonna
nothing at
swear
all
anyway.
but me. Don't even believe Jellywig and his girlfriend. You don't even, like, your most loyal lapdogs have turned on you, and still apparently you can't admit it. It's not her sleeping behind you that's the problem, it's the fact that when she gets up to stretch, you shock her back into place. I mean, he knows that. He's purposely obfuscating so that his supporters get confused and they think that, oh, people are criticizing me because my dog is sleeping. Stupid dog, you made me look bad on stream. Courage the Cowardly Dog Goated Show. Color Gate Day 16, by the way, and it's Hassan and Pirate Software melded together. They pretty much are acting the same. Moving on to Hassan's community, absolutely.
What? He's
losing their
calling
minds
Pirate
at
Software
Ludwig. Now,
acting the
basically
same
last
as
time,
Hassan.
Ludwig
That's
called out
crazy.
Hassan, saying it's 100% a shot caller.
Pirate Software isn't as bad at all. I didn't understand the whole situation with him and how it's that bad.
And I find it hilarious because Ludwig said, it's not brave to call out Hassan, it's the easiest thing to do. Well, that aged poorly. He's getting infinite backlash from these psychopathic freaks who think he turned on Hassan. Hassan fans are not taking the Ludwig news well, and it's like this massive freaking list. Right, let's go through some of these. Him screwing over his own girlfriend's career because QT's on the podcast. He apologizes to Destiny being mad at him. Ludwig probably hates Hassan because he spends more time with his girlfriend. Gutless Yakubian Devil. Implies that Ludwig thinks he's his IRL friend and his dog off stream. Own girlfriend's a liar. Guy's friends with the dude who made AI corn prawn deepfakes of women. And people wonder why Ludwig isn't liked by a lot of people. Ludwig would kill a guy to avoid losing sponsors, saying I wouldn't even go to Hassan's funeral is crazy. And this is Haas Twitter, which is Hassan's Twitter community. This after Ludwig definitely says he owns a shot caller, would not call Hassan a friend, implied that socialism when you don't make money today. For someone who's a degree in journalism, not good at fact checking. I don't get Ludwig. He decides to dagger Hassan by saying it's 100% a shot caller and it's just a fact, and then immediately says, I don't know, after researching his TikTok For You page. Mother flipper, you know the dude. Your partner is at his house every week. Happened again.
Okay.
Ludwig tried to take the
Another
middle
game.
road only to fall into a rotten take. He needs to grow some
I'm
courage.
back at
Don't waste
my
your time getting mad
one
at
game.
He always
Basically,
loves
I
Hassan.
won. I
He did it
lost.
for the memes.
I won
He's
only
more
one more
dominant.
game
No matter
than
how
I
many times
lost.
he does it, he still gets called Hassan's dog. Ludwig making public allegations instead of just asking Hassan.
Which is
to keep these
crazy.
unbelievable
But I guess
videos.
it's still
As a Hassan,
diamond.
if he had an luck
I'm
button, I can
supposed to be
confidently say Ludwig is
diamond.
just that dumb. If he's dumb enough to lose hundreds of thousands of dollars to scams, I think he's dumb enough to think that's a shot caller. Sad. It's proven it's a shot caller. Oh my god, dude. Hassan Twitter community gotta be the dumbest people on the planet. Oh, it's so easy to call out Hassan. Look at this, brah. You're getting cooked so much, and
what?
even your girlfriend is getting cooked so much so that she's having a breakdown and wants to quit, dude. Ludwig is genuinely one of the most spineless people on Twitch, and I stay reminded why I never liked him. He always sits on the fence. It's exhaustingly pathetic. I hate this freaking guy. I wouldn't be surprised if
really?
he starts doing some
How did
right-wing
he
growth,
miss that?
considering how hard his numbers have been dropping. What are you even talking about, dude? Ludwig's doing well, and why would he become a right-wing grifter? He specifically said he agrees with
I
Hassan's
shouldn't have done
politics
that.
as well. This is just Hassan's community, bro. They
I know
turn
it
on
was my ball and then his ball, but
And the
that's
thing is,
not
what
like.
he said
I don't
was
want
factual.
to give
He said
him
it is a
that
shot
ball.
call
That's
because
a
it's proven
pretty
to be a
hard
shot
one.
call. He
to
didn't even say Hassan
get.
shocked the dog. It's absolutely
Okay,
crazy,
his
bro.
ball.
Moving on to Asmongold, talking about Hassan's community, and this is referencing the whole Ludwig situation and the endless harassment. Asmon says that Hassan's community is easily the most toxic he's dealt with and compares them to Destiny. I'll even give my experience with them as well.
Do you think that the most vicious, personal, and hostile forms of hate
Them.
that I've had leveraged at me over all the years has absolutely been from Hassan's community? And it is not even remotely close. Like, 100%. His community has been the most toxic and hostile. And again, if somebody
There's no
else
way
wants
to
to
get
give their
that. Like,
opinion on this or whatever else,
Not really.
that's fine. But when you have Dr. K saying this, you have, or at least indirectly, you have Ludwig saying this indirectly. I mean, come on, guys. Like, what are we doing here? I mean, how many points on a line or on a graph do you need to make a line? Yeah, that's it. It's the left overall. It is. It's left-wing people overall. And I think that his community is a conduit for that. And you're right that in some ways it's guilt by association. And I think in some cases, maybe you're right. Maybe that's not necessarily fair to him.
How?
Because it is
Okay,
guilt by
these
association.
people are
But I
pretty
think
good
that
at
other
it.
left-wing communities, like for example, you know, like Destiny's community, has been hostile to me. But they have been, Destiny's community is a lot different. And I can't speak to, I know Hassan and Destiny have like a lot more personal, like, you know, friction than like I and Destiny have really had over the years, I would say. So like there's not really that same level of animosity. But when Destiny's community attacks me, they attack things that
Now
I say.
I'm back to literally
When
winning
Hassan's
no
community attacks
matches.
me, they attack who I am. They come after
That's
me,
crazy.
my lifestyle, my appearance, my parents, stuff like that. And that's Destiny's community. Now they attack your family. Yes, exactly. It's personal. Now, whenever you talk about like
Why
Destiny's
am I
community, I think that they're much more like, oh, but you said this and you said that,
I
and
got
maybe
it.
you think it's a bad faith interpretation, but it's generally based on something that's said, not personal, right?
Okay, to be fair, Destiny's community is
Bad
pretty
hit.
Alright, they defend him
Okay,
literally
hit.
admitting that he likes
He can.
15-year-old
It's his
girls
ball
and
again.
having illegal
No,
material. Pretty much
it's
any
his
time
ball.
I mention
No.
Destiny, there's like a defender in the comments. There's only like
It's
one or
his
two,
ball.
and they're not as bad as Hassan, but you know, I thought it's worth a mention. Now, Hassan's community
ball.
is still
His
way
ball
worse,
is
right?
there.
It is the worst thing I've ever encountered on God's green earth, right? How has he recruited the literal biggest psychopaths in the entire universe? He's got like a magnet or something that like detects their DNA and brings them to his community. And speaking as someone who's covered freaking Mr. Beast, right? Literally the biggest YouTuber in the entire world with the biggest fan base in the entire world. And I was one of the biggest guys clowning on him at the time, right? And even him, who can literally basically command countries at this point, right? I didn't get a fraction of the hate that I get from simply covering Hassan, right? So Hassan's community is literally thousands of times smaller, right? Infinitely smaller.
To
than
be
Mr.
honest,
Beast, but it
hating
still
him
has
for
more crazy
Mr. Beast
people in it,
seems
and
more
more people
reasonable,
harass you over that.
and it's
Just
weird
think about that. The
that
amount
it's
of
getting more
sociopathic
hateful.
freaks you have to have in your community to actually overcome that giant of a number difference, right? And the thing is, nobody will ever understand this unless you are one of of the creators who covers Hassan, right? I mean, just ask Ethan, like what happened to him, right? What he thinks of Hassan's community, right? Buddy has been dealing with the absolute worst of it. I'm like number 15
Okay,
in the
they're
list, right?
both-
First is like, we got Ethan, Asmongold, Tectone, all these people, they go after
They're
first.
both-
Also,
oh.
again, the Ludwig clip.
They're both-
It's not brave to call out Hassan. Play the clip.
Pretending to live in a universe where it is like brave to speak out against Hassan, truly, I think it's pathetic.
Hassan's community makes Destiny's community look
Feasible,
civilized.
and
That's
I
not a
wanted
freaking
to
lie.
get
Now,
them,
turns
but
out
like
they were
that might
harassing
not be a
QT
good idea.
Cinderella as well because she decided to mention Asmongold while also saying that she completely disagrees with him. What you are dealing with is exactly what Ethan experienced the second he disagreed 1% with Hassan, and now it's happening to Ludwig and QT, and they're finally starting to see how insane Hassan has been all along. And they have gotten the protection, right? Because if you're on Hassan's side, his community doesn't go after you. So they're oblivious. They're oblivious to how absolutely insane these people are. And yeah, you're finding out firsthand. Moving on to Ethan talking about QT. QT tweeted this, being optimistic.
Damn, that was
is equal to
actually
being a
going in, I
spineless
think,
fencing
so good
mid.
save.
Thanks for the heads up, everybody.
Even if it
And I
wasn't,
don't know
that's an
exactly
even
what she's
better
referring
save,
to
I
here
guess.
because she deleted a bunch of tweets, but it seems that it's probably the Asmongold situation where she was optimistic about his show with Aiden Ross, and she was basically saying that it could be like a good and unique thing, a separate thing. from
Bro,
her
that
show.
was a
And
really
Hassan
bad
fans and potentially her own
time
community
for a
went
line
absolutely
spike, but it
crazy on
worked.
her because you know, you can't be talking to the wrong side, you know, you can't be even mentioning their name, their
Okay, mine.
Ethan responds, I
well,
really think people should lay off QT. She's in
Down.
an impossible position no matter what side you think she's taking. She seems like a very nice person that got unfortunately mixed up in a volatile situation. I
Bro, there's
honestly
like
agree that
lag
people
spikes
should be
right
leaving
where
her
I'm
alone
in.
because she did nothing wrong in this particular situation. Like, she just mentioned
That's his
Asmongold.
ball.
Like, come on, she didn't even support him or any of his views or anything like that, right? In fact, she did valuable work for us. She exposed Hassan for having a shot
I
caller,
don't
right?
think
Maybe
that's not an
intentionally,
easy
but
ball.
hey,
If you
she's
need
our
a
secret
boost,
undercover
for
agent,
sure
you know,
that's
working
not easy.
against Hassan. Hassan gonna call her the Mossad, an Israel operative, obviously, but anyways, this is just what you deal with when you deal with Hassan. I appreciate the side of Ethan. He knows when too much is too much. Meanwhile, the people who hate him want his total destruction or death. Weird. I was told it's his primary goal in life to send unprovoked misogynistic hate campaigns towards any woman who associates with Hassan. His fan base is literally majority women as well. Like, that's the stupidest argument ever.
No, there's no shock. Like, the electric prongs are taken out of it.
This is very interesting because I think a lot of Hassan fans perceive this as an attack. What I see is just someone who is put into this position by Hassan because he's perpetually lying, where she is just telling what happened, kind of in a sense to defend herself. Because, like, why should she, someone who's honest and has a good reputation and, you know, is not trying to lie about animal abuse and this kind of stuff, why should she have to lie, right, about what she knows? So this is someone who's just being honest. I don't believe she's trying to attack Hassan.
I think he lied about having a shock collar. I think he 100% had a shock collar based off what's on my For You page. Maybe I'm getting psyops. He's adamant that he hasn't shocked her, but that 100% is a shock collar, as a fact.
So just like the simple act of acknowledging observable reality is like a radical notion if you're in Hassan's orbit. Like, this was somehow shocking to everybody to see Ludwig say, yeah, no, he's
How do you miss that?
And I think when you come in
That's
and you
crazy.
say, oh no, you're gonna get another song call now, I think like you are, you are still pretending to live in a universe where it is.
Oh, but I see why he jumped back.
brave to speak out against Hassan.
I will say, respectfully disagree with him here, just by the fact that him and QT are now being dragged as Zionists in immediate response to describing observable reality. So again, like he makes this statement, I guess, to defend himself. Be like, I'm not afraid to criticize Hassan. And also, you're insane, he says, if you think people care that I criticize Hassan, which was immediately proven to be not correct. And that, unfortunately, I have the feeling that they're both getting kind of a front row seat to what Hassan's audience puts people through when they cross him. And it should be quite obvious to people now who are paying attention that it was never about Israel, right? It was about criticizing Hassan. That's the only reason you would call Ludwig or QT Cinderella a Zionist. This is mad.
Oh my god, are they really calling him and her like a Zionist now? Brother, it's gotta be Israel, right? Bro, the level of brain rot, I have never seen this, dude. It's unbelievable how people can be this stupid. And we definitely got like a new meme with Ludwig, dude. It's not brave to
They
call
might
us
be,
up.
I think they are Zionists, but the people don't understand what Zionism means.
Ludwig, and they attempt to
Anyways.
show that Hassan is a good friend and completely backfires. Going back, it seems like Hassan tried hard to be his friend, but Ludwig is just an a-hole. As someone who was backstabbed by one of his best friends for years, I feel bad
Bro,
for
why
Hassan.
is
Shit's fucked.
people are taking the boost that I
got hit
kind
by
of
me
want to
in my
take
car when he was on his vest.
every single
I
time.
texted him, "Hey, I hope you're doing all right, King." No response.
Nice.
Does this dude hate me? What the fuck? You too. You both. I always will hit you guys up to be like, "I hope you guys are doing well." Dead. No.
Damn, a 1 second goal. That's usually not what happens. It's usually a 0
The
second
allegations
goal.
of autism and Hassan is not around. I literally am trying my fucking very best.
I'm not a texter.
You are cold, bitch. That's what you are. Okay? I text you anytime you're like in a bad mood. I'll be like, "Oh, is everything good?" No response.
Right, so over all the years, right, that was this person's example of Hassan being a good friend. So let me get this straight. I don't know if I heard that wrong. So Hassan hit Ludwig with his car, and he's supposed to be the good friend for asking him if he's okay? Brother, you're the one who hit him. Obviously, you're gonna ask if he's okay. That's the least thing you could do if you didn't hospitalize him. You absolute ignoramus. Like, this is the smartest Hassan fan right here, dude. This dumbass Glazer posted this as an example of Hassan being a good person by hitting his friend with a literal car, bro. Cinema. Just cinema. And by the way, Ludwig probably didn't respond because you freaking hit him, bro. Like, I would be pretty pissed as well. If you got backstabbed for doing something as bad as shocking your dog and deplatform anyone who dares to speak
That's
against
bad.
you,
I don't
you
understand why shocking your dog is that bad. But the same thing, I hate Hassan anyway, so I'm happy about it. But everyone's hating him for it.
What shock collar did he use then? Like, if you're gonna talk like this, you need to back it up with facts and evidence.
I think it's bad, but it's not like, I don't know, it's not that bad. It's like bad, but not very bad. But it's good that people are starting to realize that he's kind of dumb.
I feel bad he said the
Even
truth
though a
about
lot
the
of
shot
people
collar.
are siding with
it's like,
Hassan.
it's so insane, and I'm so glad that Ludwig and QT are actually seeing how Hassan's community operates in real
Yeah, I'm
time. This is
happy.
what we've been saying all along, and slowly, one by one, we are converting people. Slowly, through sheer evidence of
Converting.
Hassan's wrongdoings, we are slowly converting everyone onto the right side of history and making them see the truth.
Oh damn,
that was
everyone
in front of
here
their
is
faces
pretty
this
good.
entire time. Subscribe, guys. The Legendary series is actually making the greatest
Wow.
impact ever. Now, also,
I said
last time
take
I
the
said
shot.
that I
Do
would
you not know
officially
what that
change
means?
by royal decree the Jellywig nickname to something like Bonewig or Ludwig again if he turned on Hassan and made a mogul mail video destroying him. But he did not actually do that. This was like the most room temperature, super late, safe opinion, and I don't think it warrants a nickname change. I feel like you don't get to pass that easy after supporting Hassan all this time, right? And also, I just love saying Jellywig. Okay, it's my favorite word, so I'm keeping it. Alright, actually, second favorite word. My first favorite word is obviously diabolical. Okay, that's always my favorite. Moving on to the rank #1 gooner, Dan the Dynamic Diddler Clancy. Now, remember how
Damn,
Dan
what?
Clancy
Okay,
was supposed
that's
to
crazy.
testify in front of Congress on
It was his ball, but no one
which
expects
radicalizing
that.
people into
So
political
yeah.
violence. And this was after the Charlie Kirk assassination, and people
I didn't
were
even
into
see
what
him
sort of
either.
rhetoric
That's the
actually
thing.
caused that
Like
assassination.
even
And
if
the
I didn't
conversation
expect
shifted
it.
to people like Hassan who were advocating to murder their political opponents. Well, that whole meeting was actually postponed, and Dan has responded now. Dan Clancy says he's not too worried about a potential congressional hearing, and that Twitch doesn't have a radicalization problem. And of course, it's the wonderful interviewer, Taylor Lorenz.
Why do you think that you guys got dragged into that when it was like sort of following the Charlie Kirk shooting? There didn't seem to be any
We didn't
connection.
have, there's no connection. I think it's purely what I'll call is company association. They need some number of N people. If you did a cluster of companies that, you know, end up having users that overlap, and you had Reddit and Discord and Steam, and you say, tell me the fourth company, and you can't mention one of the big ones because you have to have balance. You can't mention X or Facebook or YouTube, then it's like, well, what's the force? So it's proximity. I don't think, to me, I'm not that worried about it because I think, you know, he had no experience. We do not have this problem of radicalization.
What? How did I
It's a
miss
public
that?
forum.
I mean, how did they say that? Not how did I
One way to think of it is, if you really view this from a honest and sincere perspective, these things are trying to get information. And to be honest, they probably don't know that much about Twitch.
Yeah.
Right? They're not Twitch users. So I feel really good that we have in terms of them trying to understand this landscape. They'll realize, oh, Twitch doesn't really fit with these other ones.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're talking about a group of lawmakers that probably don't know how to turn their computers on, so I don't know how familiar they are with Twitch. I mean, it seems like...
Okay, first off, Taylor Lorenz calling anybody old is hilarious. Oh, these boomers don't know how to turn their computers on. Have you seen yourself? Oh my god. You're thirsting after a guy a decade younger than you. It is diabolical, okay? You need to stop. You need to get a grip. We can see you dripping, alright? Second off, interesting how Dan says there's no connection between Twitch and political violence, okay? Even though there's open terrorist support on his platform, open anti-Semitism. Keep in mind, Mike from PA was banned for 1 week for literally, you know, saying that thing about Jews, which got my video flagged that I can't even say. That's how bad it is. Also, I must point out again, Charlie Kirk was literally Hassan Piker's debate opponent. It happened 2 weeks before the debate, okay? Hassan has openly talked about unaliving his political enemies, the classic K. Rick Scott.
You would kill Rick Scott.
And his community spams literal hearts for a shooter and a terrorist who kills innocent people. And this guy is absolutely radicalizing people into political violence. It's not even a question. It's just a matter of Twitch not enforcing their own rules. People responded, effing crazy that DJ Dan Clancy said, well, we give Emiru tools like moderation and blocking to prevent something like what happened to her. Don't worry, guys. If a stalker has never typed in chat, Dan Clancy thinks nothing can be done to prevent SA. His response to that was the most disgusting thing ever. He was just like, she should have banned him from chat, as if that would do anything. Like,
Nice.
he's so stupid.
I feel happy about that.
Problem. I believe I'm going to have to disagree with you. We don't have a radicalization problem. Q Hassan saying he stands 10 toes down in support of a terrorist organization. Which one? Which one? We got multiple here. I would love to see Dan Clancy watch a couple Hassan clips where he calls innocent people pedophiles, rapists, and other derogatory terms, and explain to everyone why it's not against Twitch policy, but calling someone fat is. Dude, having logic with Twitch moderation is gotta be the thing that drives you completely insane. Like, this shit has been pissing us off for so long, and I'm like so sick of this guy, dude. Moving on to more streamers exposing Dan Clancy for apparently going after 19-year-old girls. Hey You Video Game talks about his Dan Clancy TwitchCon experience, immediately stops by 3 19-year-old girls. Keep in mind, last time streamer Scarra also talked about how Dan was hanging with these young girls. Now, he did say it was a rumor, but this guy is basically confirming that rumor.
I saw Dan Clancy and he thought about going on stage, and there's the one time I talked to Dan Clancy was at this party. And he was going to go on stage while Will was DJing. He kind of peeked, and I said, I think you're allowed to go up there, Mr. Clancy. Of all the people, I think you can go up on stage. And he was like, oh, I want to say hi to my friends first. And he keeps walking, and he immediately stops by 3 19-year-old e-girls. And all the memes you see about that, let me tell you, I saw Dan probably 20 times. All right. And let me tell you, Dan.
No.
I mean, it's not a secret. The man, it's out there. All right. I'm not putting Dan on blast. Everybody already knows. I'm just confirming what everybody already knows. Dan Clancy, he just is. He's natural friend makers. A natural friend maker with e-girls. Yeah, that was. That's what happened. All right. I'm just saying that's what happened. That's one way to say it. This is Dan. I'm streaming in Dan's world. All right, we're all part of Dan's world.
I need to go back.
You know,
Okay.
I don't want anybody to send a clip of Dan and then suddenly Clancy. I got the eyes of Clancy on me. He seems like a really good guy. Not even he just seems to really be an
Nice shot, great pass. He did both of them.
Interesting, very interesting. Dan, don't ban
Oh,
me. I just said it.
damn.
I just said it's interesting.
Let's go.
Oh, it is very interesting.
180.
So you're telling me Dan Clancy, whose phone we know is filled with e-girls that he is obviously gooning to, is actually meeting them in real life. Interesting information. So let's just go over what this guy
Wait,
said,
let's
right?
do controller. I wanna
was hanging
see.
out with 3, not 1, not 2, not
Oh,
0,
damn,
not
damn.
his wife, but
I hate
3
that.
19-year-old
Let's
e-girls,
see.
not 20, 19-year-old. That is absolutely diabolical. Okay, that is dastardly. Now, this guy is 61 with a wife and kids. Now, I'm not going to claim anything else, obviously, because I don't know. There's no evidence that anything is actually going on, but it's just weird behavior as it is. Why are you doing this? Why are you hanging out with all these young girls when you're triple their age? It's just horrible optics. And you are not a random old man.
It's still top 50%, which is crazy because I was fighting top 50% for such a long
And
time.
it seems like you are using your power as a CEO, right, to get in the good graces with these e-girls, right? Creepily hanging out with a bunch of teen girls, that you have nothing in common with. Now, this guy goes further and he says he saw you 20 times. Now, maybe he's exaggerating a little bit. But he
Okay,
saw you
he's
a lot
kind
of
of
times,
bad.
right? He says
When I
he's
say
not
take the shot, I mean it, by the way.
obviously
And I've said
seen
it
Dan
quite a
Clancy
while
hanging out
before.
with his favorite streamer, Extra Emily, as well, right? Now, she's not a 19, I don't know, she's much older, but he's a natural friend maker of e-girls, apparently, right? So it feels like he's using his CEO title to get up close and personal. It's this weird power dynamic. You're the CEO, you're their boss. It's just yuck. It's yuck. It's horrible optics for Twitch as a company and makes you look like a weirdo. Even if what you were doing is completely innocent. Wait, a streamer is defending creepy Dan Clancy like his entire career depends on it? I'm shocked. Why is Dan on FaceTime with an e-girl only to desperately hide when he realizes he's on camera? Gooner Goblin. So that one, I don't think he was actually hanging out with that e-girl. Apparently they were just gonna like say hi or something like that. But I don't think it makes it any better at all. Every normal 62-year-old millionaire is quickly friends with 19-year-olds. Little different when they're your employees. Natural friend maker with 19-year-old girls when he has power over the social media platform that can make or break their careers. Totally normal, guys.
Really?
Totally normal.
That's how
Nothing to
bad
see here, obviously.
it
This is
was.
so
Literally that
incredibly
bad. How can you not even hit the ball? It was
because they
dribbled.
expect a payday. Might get some
I
extra
can't believe
gifted
that.
subs from old Dan here. Might get a little boost in viewership, a boost in revenue, extra ads or something like that. Like, you never know. They're probably just entertaining it because, you know, you're the CEO, dude. Moving on to Ethan calling out the Hassan defense.
I shouldn't
squad.
have done that, but it
Nonsense.
worked.
Quit hounding Hassan Piker over his
Somehow,
dog
it
collar.
actually even went
Journalism here,
backwards on
fellas.
the 30
I mean, I don't even need to read the article. It's just, they're like, stop. He
Okay,
already
he can
debunked it,
read.
you guys.
Or
There's more
he has the
stuff to
chat
talk
on.
about. Okay, great. Yeah, let's keep sweeping for his son. No matter how much he... Does it not concern you that he just lies?
Everybody loves him, bro. That's what I'm realizing. It seems like people just will look the other way. I don't see what the power is.
And they're just posting Hassan fan accounts. Here you go, freaks, of him being like... By the way, now, as you watch this clip, and this is cited in this article...
Maybe he's
as
like
evidence that he
actually
didn't do it,
handsome. I don't know. Maybe
now
that's
that
why
a few
they're
days later, he says the dog
defending
wasn't
him.
actually
Like,
wearing the collar. So,
it's
take
mostly
this
girls.
This is the one that people
But
are
also
talking
his
about.
audience is
Okay, this
mostly
is the one.
girls. So I don't know.
This is the one that they saw.
This is the one they saw.
But now that's not.
But there's a lot of
She wasn't
boys
wearing
too
it.
that
I'm confused.
And it really wasn't even tight because her hair is so freaking thick. But it bothered him.
Look at Taylor. She's like,
that I
yes.
thought
I know,
that
dude.
Yes, girl.
It's hard.
Yes.
It's hard to watch with her like nodding furiously.
She's loving this.
her collar was too tight. And so we even had a follow-up conversation about it. So when I saw the whole thing about her...
Are you there? Is anybody
like,
there?
barking
Stop, I
or
can't.
yelping or whatever.
Taylor's.
Then after that,
Why
we
do
went
they
on the
keep
podcast, and she
interrupting
sat
while-
under the table of the podcast. It's not like he's...
Taylor Lorenz is definitely
I
playing
can't
like
get
a
that, and it
Hassan
makes
love
sense
scene in
why
her
I
head,
can't
right?
get that.
Fantasizing that one day Hassan will call me over, it'll be, the sun will be shining, the birds will be chirping, and he'll finally confess that he's been in love all along. All of her 25 years of nonstop simping and glazing will finally pay off. Get a grip, lady. You're dripping all over the screen. It's disgusting. Ew. Then he responds to Hassan calling him out.
I actually didn't spend the last 2 years defending genocide. Everyone was lying about it.
Yeah, no.
Who gives a fuck what that lunatic has to say?
Do you think he actually thought that was that funny?
Dude, what kind of laugh is that?
I mean, you know, is he really that amused? Okay, great.
It's
Listen,
still his ball. I need
obviously,
to make sure that
disagree
I'm.
with everything you're saying, and obviously you are the main spreader of this malicious lie that has caused untold trauma to me and my family.
Bro, that
But
was actually
nonetheless,
good. I don't know if
that
I
has
would
nothing to do with the
yeah.
fact that you electrocuted your dog. So if you could address
Yeah.
that, that'd be great.
I make a good apology video. Just be honest. Don't try and think that you can trick the internet because you can't. People are smarter than you think, and they'll see through all this bullshit. It's easier for me to say this looking back, of course, but it might be a good lesson for everyone out there.
We've got him. He's a liar. He's always been a liar. He lies about political opponents because he thinks that it's morally justified to lie and slander people if they are political opponents, because it helps his cause. In his mind, that's what he thinks. And this is obviously not
Is
something
that
I
it?
subscribe to. I
That's
think it's
crazy,
evil.
though.
I think it's
That was
disgusting. I think
close.
this is why people believe that I've supported genocide and the fallout from it.
Bro, PewDiePie is the absolute GOAT. You know, he literally had it right all those years ago that you should just be
I can't believe that
honest, and the
happened.
internet is
to be
actually
honest.
smart enough to figure out all of the bullshit, right? Exactly like what happened with Hassan Shotcaller. Like, he tried to lie and it didn't work. And I know he's in retirement and enjoying his life with his family and stuff, but imagine the cinema if he came back just to shit on Hassan, bro. That would be the greatest thing in the entire universe. Honestly, never gonna happen, but you know, a man can dream, just like Taylor Lorenz, obviously. But till then, you just gotta deal with me, alright? Maybe one day. Moving on to NYC mayoral candidate Curtis Sliwa, and he's like cooking Hassan.
There it is. You see Hassan get cooked on Twitter by the New York City dude? I did. I saw it. The New York debate happened yesterday, and Hassan was tweeting, Curtis Siwa, we must send minors to prison.
Context. It's personal for me. My oldest son, Anthony, was the victim
Really?
of a vicious gang assault.
Bro, everyone is constantly beating this guy and his family.
Wait, I want to see the
Assault
replay.
to gang violence, and the perpetrators went to family court and got a little
Okay,
pin
I
on the
can't
wrist
see
and
it.
was sent home to do it again and again. We need to start charging juveniles who commit violent crime in criminal court, and I'll appoint criminal court judges who follow the law and don't just release them because of no cash bail. Clear difference between you and that.
Curtis Lewa, we must send minors to
Bismillah.
jail. That's crazy.
I didn't know this guy. I had no idea who this guy was. But then I saw that he said if they commit violent crimes in a furtherance of street gangs, yes. And then he even goes farther and he says, and people who abuse their animals too, by the way. Oh my God. I was not
What, really?
familiar with him at all. This dude's wild. Who is this guy?
Wow.
That's an almost 10x ratio.
That's pretty
Did
annoying.
somebody say it's over? Okay.
He hit it like that,
Alright,
bro.
It's like,
Seriously?
It's just something that activates inside
Okay.
me, but yeah.
I know it's
Hassan
unlucky,
getting called
but,
out
like,
for
it's
mistreating his
still
dog is a massive W. I have no idea who this guy is, by the way.
Bro,
Whatever
basically I've
policies
been
he
winning and
no
losing.
Idea, no idea. But anyways, more
Every
attention
single
and more
time.
problems for
Win,
Hassan.
loss,
As
win,
long
loss.
as like more
Basically
mainstream
like that.
people start calling him out, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Brings him one step closer to the cockroach cell with Soy Got Destiny. Hassan's animal abuse is the most
Maybe I
mainstream
shouldn't
thing
have
about him,
touched
and
it
that's
again,
amazing.
but it worked
Shock,
anyway.
shock, shock, my dog, I can't stop. So somebody made like a music video about it. The memes have been legendary. I think I get referenced as well. I'm not too sure, but yeah, the memes are amazing. I support it. Now click this video to have the most epic day ever. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.
What is that? Really? Why does it keep doing those crazy lag spikes where I can't even see any? Bro, what's the line? Are they done? Fully one? Yeah, okay. What? Okay. That's crazy. Okay, if they keep annoying us, think these are the type of people to be really annoying. Yeah, okay, I know what you're doing. You're waiting for time to slow down. Try to score. How about this? I'm gonna use only this half of the field to hit it in. Okay, that's fine. Now let me use this half of the field. Okay, let me try to score from here. Oh, damn. I think it's good that he didn't score. Damn, that's a good shot. Okay, I can hit it only from there. I can't go further. Why did he hit it in, bro? Seriously? This is... I guess I'm gonna win, but like maybe I should tell him to speed it up. I don't know how to go. Oh damn, that didn't go in. Really, that was fun? Are you sure? I'm not sure that was fun. I got a random unknown call. Wait, let me check what that is though. Maybe it is not an unknown call. It's not even showing. That might mean it's... Third. Okay, that's fine. His ball, but I don't blame him either. Maybe he's bad, but you know, I'm not getting that sense. Which is weird because he lost both times. Oh shit. Okay, whatever. Not my time to take the shot, but... I have enough blues. I see why. I see why he didn't like. Okay. I don't know it's possible to win this, but it's actually pretty hard though, because of the amount of time we have left. You know, I don't know, he wasn't even that bad in my opinion. Okay, I can't watch a video. Too late. Hopefully this guy will be better, but you know, I kind of feel like there was one terrible thing that someone did, like actually terrible. But aside from that, like, it's just normal mistakes that people are doing. What happened? Okay, I got it. In it, chat. Down my miss. I can't do anything. I should know when I can't do anything. It's really important to know that. His ball, but yeah, that's my fault. this ball in my fault. Okay. Yeah. Bro, ever since Dan Clancy, Twitch has been bad. Also, the analytics are terrible now. It's like, it makes no sense. Analytics. That's all his. No idea what that was. That was unlucky, like, that was a pretty good goal. Like, he got lucky, I think. But also, I don't see why that guy just stayed in goal. Does he want to leave the game or something? 'Cause if he does, then it's really annoying. Oh, damn. Bad shot. Like, really bad shot. You had the whole net. They're really good at saving the ball. Maybe this rank is pretty good. Like, actually very good. But it worked anyway. Doesn't matter. Okay. It's his shot. Okay. Bro, it looked like it was getting brighter. I don't know. Oh, that was such a bad. Cause maybe it was better than nothing, but it was like, I don't know. I hit it so little that it didn't even move. And then I also like after that. Oh, nice. Oh, they won anyway. I didn't notice that they were winning. Whatever. What? Oh, I am. I'm actually a pretty bad rating. I didn't notice. I'm back to where I started today. Oh yeah, I can't do that anymore. What happened? So let's just wait.